Welcome to yet another installment, another episode of the In the Hall podcast with Klev and Ty. I am Klev.
I am Ty.
Sis, how was your Valentine's Day?
It was great. It was wonderful. How was your Valentine's Day with your Valentine that you asked to be your Valentine?
Oh, it was amazing. My wife, who's very crafty, her and Itty Bitty made me this that had got like a wooden heart.
Oh,
Got me like a wooden heart and then painted the word dad on it, and it had Itty Bitty had put like red handprints on it.
oh.
It is currently hung up on my wall, on the backside of my wall where my bed is.
Mhm.
Um, I cried. I ain't gonna lie. I folded. I cried because then she had got me like this card, and then on the side it had this really big T like scribbled on it that itty bitty was able to write as like a signature. It was great.
Oh,
I needed that, man. It was great.
oh. So sweet. Yeah, we didn't do anything crazy for Valentine's Day because we got snowed in Valentine's Day experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, our Valentine's Day was stuck inside, but we did make the most of it, and it was really nice. We got some stuff for the kids, and the kids got made stuff for us. It's for made little things for us, so it was very sweet. But it's been a super crazy week because of that.
Yeah,
So
same here.
getting stuff ready for Valentine's Day parties. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be so excited to write my Valentines and do my stuff, and now I'm like, what? No. What was
But
I
yeah,
doing?
it's been a crazy week for us both. So apologies in advance to our listeners getting this episode a little bit late this week. But we are here though. So Ty, what we got this week? Let's go.
So it looks like we have some new music. Now, warning, guys, I listened to no new music this week. I know we did have some projects that came out from Young Blue and from Party Next Door and Drake. But I didn't get a chance to listen to these projects because I just didn't have time to sit down and really process them. And if I'm going to listen to music, I really like being able to sit down and sit with the music and do that. I don't like running around while I'm doing it because I don't think it's fair for a review. So Klev is going to have to take you guys on this one.
Okay, so before I start, were you able to go back from last week's projects to listen to? Because you didn't get to those neither.
No, not this
Okay.
week. Not this week. I'm hoping by the end of this week. Well, this is the end of the week. I'm hoping by this weekend I should be able to listen to most of the stuff that I was supposed to listen to. It is just this. This was a crazy time. Crazy time.
Well, Ty, you're in luck because I got you.
Okay.
I have a music review to start
Okay.
off this podcast. This is the new collab album from Drake and Party Next Door, titled "Some Sexy Songs for You." Um, okay, before I start, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how, with 10 being the highest, how much of a fan you are of Party Next Door's music?
Like a 4.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy the second half of Scorpion, the R&B side?
A 5.5.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you are not gonna like this album. I'm gonna
How?
get this out. I'm going to get this out the way. You are going to be out on this album. Uh, this is so weird though. So let me talk about how confusing the promotion of this album was compared to what we got, and then I'm going to get into my review, I promise. But
Okay, go ahead.
it was super confusing because it was first announced that okay, Party Next Door and Drake is doing a collab album. This was like a month or a couple months ago. Once it became closer to the release date, this was advertised as a Party Next Door album. The Party Next Door is the lead artist under the list, and it's Party Next Door and Drake. So this was kind of promoted as more of a. It's technically a Party Next Door album
Okay,
in a weird. I don't know. I don't know. It was weird, but what makes it confusing is the fact that this is a Drake album. Drake is on here. I would say it's 75-25 Drake on this album.
oh,
Yeah, so it's there's a portion of this project where Drake kind of just forgets Party Next Door is even here. Like there's a good number of solo Drake songs on this album.
that's
So
interesting.
it's yeah, it's weird because it was advertised as a joint project, but then it was promoted as a Party Next Door album, kind of featuring Drake, but the album is predominantly Drake. So I'm gonna start there.
Can I
Now,
can I say something?
sure.
I wonder, and this is just full of assumption, but I wonder if Drake did that because he didn't want this to feel like a project that was from him, knowing the circumstances of everything that's going on right now. And so he just was like, listen, I will give this album to you because, like, you're here. And I'll say that I'm the featuring artist for this because then it doesn't seem like, if this doesn't work well, then it doesn't seem like, oh, well, Drake's response was a love song album.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just my thoughts I'm hearing right now. That's all. Go ahead.
Okay. So and that actually was a theory that a lot of people actually had about this, about how this was promoted, because the theory was if all else fails and and this album flopped numbers wise because of the circumstances of this project, we can just chalk this up as this was a Party Next Door album.
Right.
So that was definitely a theory that people has had.
Okay.
Um, but getting into the project, on the positive side, I will say this: even though Party Next Door is not on this album much, he has high influence as far as the sound of this sound sonically. This sounds like a Party Next Door project.
Okay.
So this is really contingent on how big of a Party Next Door fan you are. On a positive note, if you are a fan of that vibe, you are going to love this album. This has that dark, moody 2:30 a.m. mama. This has that in abundance. So if you are a fan of this vibe, you will love this album. Another positive about this album is sample heavy, and there's some Easter eggs in this album as far as some sampling. There's all and another thing, which is a positive and a negative. There's a lot of beat changes on this project as well. Some works in its benefit, some work against it. Um, but there are a lot of beat changes on this project. There is some of my personal favorites. When we get into Spider-Man, Superman, great sample. I forget the original, but it's one of those R&B samples that you know when you hear it, and then he kind of flips it because then the beat changes. And I'll give you this one. I'll give you this one. The beat changes, and then he samples the beginning of the real her from Take Care.
Ooh.
So it's a lot of moving parts in some of these songs. So if you're into that vibe, this is definitely the album for you. This is definitely an album for the ladies. Like, he says it in Give Me a Hug, which is one of the songs we're gonna talk about that's really been having people talking. He says in Give Me the Hug, like fuck a rap beef. I want to get the party lit. I want to get the party lit for the bitches. This is an album for the ladies through and through, and I think this works to Drake's benefit because this is showing that like he's kind of leaving the beef in the past, which I think everybody needs to at this point. So I think that's pretty cool. The negatives on this album though, there are a few. Also before I even get to my negatives, "Give Me a Hug" was one of those songs. Was this is like the rapidy rap Drake, which is my favorite Drake. Where he's like rapping, and then it's one of those high pitched samples. Like when you hear the beat start, you like, oh yeah, Drake about to like rap. Is one of those. He actually disses Joe Budden in this song, which was hilarious. Um, but yeah, "Give Me a Hug" was definitely a standout. But the negatives about this album is on one side, it if you're a fan of Party Next Door's sound, you'll love this album because that's the vibe throughout. But on the flip side, if you're not a fan of his sound and his vibe, which you're not, judging by saying that it's a 4, this is gonna get to the point where listening to this album is gonna sound like a chore. A lot of these songs are going to blend in together because they're so similar in sound, in mood, in tempo. This is a 21 song album. No interlude. Well, no, there is one interlude on here, but this is a 21 track album. If you're not into that vibe, it's gonna become a chore. Another negative. There are times to where the vibe switches and they're doing something different other than that dark brooding vibe, but every time it switches the songs are horrible, and I'm talking horrible. Like, there's a song on here called "Meet Your Padre," which is like, the salsa Drake. Drake got like 5 different versions of himself. This is like the Bad Bunny salsa Drake. Really bad song.
Mm.
There's a song on, and another positive and I forgot to mention, Drake has been doing a great job of introducing us to new R&B acts that we're unaware of on his album, on his projects. He did this again with an interlude called Pimmy's Dilemma, which is an artist by the name of Pim. She's going by Pimmy now. About a minute and a half interlude. It gives you Summer Walker Session 32 vibes because it's just a stripped down acoustic guitar with these it's a great song. You're gonna love that song if nothing else. I will tell you that. But then there is a song on here called Die Trying, which has Yeba on it, which he introduced me and a lot of other people to on Certified Lover Boy. And yo, this song is awful. This was this was one of those upbeat acoustic guitar like wispy songs that SZA does.
Interesting. And
And go ahead.
I've known. Wait, you knew who she was before then?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
I
Not
I
not
got
before Certified
introduced
Lover Boy?
I got introduced to Yeba from Certified Lover Boy. I did not.
Are you serious?
Dead ass.
Did Table for Two come out before Certified Lover Boy? Okay, look that up.
Oh, keep talking. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, because I'm gonna look this up because I feel like no. I'm shocked.
Let me see. So Surf.
That's the truth.
Okay, hold on. Okay, table
Okay,
for.
you look up. I'll look for Table for Two because I'm because ain't no way.
Okay. Table for two came out first.
Okay, so no, you heard her before then. You playing?
To be fair, I didn't listen to that project a lot, so it
No,
probably
but you
slipped my.
heard that one song.
I,
There's no
okay,
way you didn't.
I got you. But I say that to say is like he still introduced her to a larger audience, and then this that song is god awful. Like that would have been a bad SZA song.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
hey.
got, and then the biggest, it's like Drake. Okay, so we understand that there's fuckboy Drake, and then there's like simping Drake. Drake on this album is almost the worst version of both. It's insane. I'm gonna give you a great example of both, right? So there's a run in the middle of this album that starts at the Pimmy's Dilemma interlude. And in Pimmy's Dilemma, Pimmy is singing about you know what I'm saying, don't go out with your friends. They don't really care about us, or they don't respect you. Like you know what I'm saying, they gonna let you go out and do whatever and then blame it on the liquor. Like you know what I'm saying? It's one of those. The very next song, Brian Steele, happens to be like a response to the interlude. And, and I don't know, because I'm pulling up Genius because I have to quote lyrics for this album. His direct response to her is pretty much, the pussy so good it could keep me inside, but fuck that, baby, I gotta pop out with the guys tonight. This is like peak fuckboy Drake, right?
It's insane.
Yeah, and but then it goes from Pimmy's interlude to Brian Steele to Give Me a Hug, which was like the strip club track. It's a run, but then we get like peak simp Drake at the same time as well. And a great example, which is one of my favorite songs, is actually called Lasers, which is Lasers is the most Party Next Door sounding song on this project. But Lasers is pretty much talking about um them being involved with this girl who has like a tattoo of like her main nigga on her, and them feeling a way about that. And but with them it be like, it's not like my name, but like we're doing doggy style and I'm just looking at this tattoo of another nigga name, right?
It's insane.
So I am going to read verbatim Drake's verse. It's a short verse. I'm going to read it for this is peak simp Drake. And I quote, never thought I'd see the day you cry, till you cried in my arms that night. Said he hit you after that one fight. Close fist. He's fried. I'm heated. I don't really want to speak about it. I'm brushing them niggas soon as we see them. No empathy for them, and I mean it. Don't tell me show no sympathy. I told you what you meant to me. Peak simp Drake at the same time.
This is
The night.
not this is not an unpopular opinion, but I don't believe that simps are a thing.
Mm. Expound on that really quick.
I think that this is something that somebody made up because they believe that I believe that everybody loves in their own way. And do I think that there are people who do try to do things for the attention of people? Yes, but do I necessarily think that that's simping? No. I think that you could be in a bad relationship with somebody who you are receiving unrequited love from. But I think that a lot of people classify a lot of things that don't make sense to me under simping. Like, to me personally, I just think that it's weird that he is in this relationship with this girl who has in a relationship with another man, and this is just an unrequited love situation. Not necessarily that he's simping, just that he's just in a dumb relationship. Like, this relationship's just not a fair or equal opportunity.
Respect. Respect.
Okay.
And then it gets to a point. It gets worse. It somehow gets worse. There was a song near the end of this project called Celibacy.
Oh, okay. Well, more people need to be practicing that in this day and age.
And like Drake Drake kicks off the verse. Drop to my knees. Let me break your streak. I'm begging you, please. Cause it's been 4 months and 2 weeks and 36 hours and 8 minutes since you've been pleased. So please, please give me that opportunity to get you right where you want to be. Nigga.
What?
Like it gets bad. It gets cringy. It gets cringy.
It's not 4 months, like not to the minute. What?
It
I'm glad I ain't listening to this. Yeah, I didn't waste my time and my ears and my precious pearls on this. Oh,
and then like, but to his benefit, he got himself a hit. There's a song right here called Nokia, which I'm not a fan of this song. And this is kind of the one song that got people divided. But this song is huge on TikTok right now. This song is going to be huge in skating rinks. He samples the Nokia ringtone on this song. It's a very upbeat. Listen to Nokia, and whether or not you love it or you hate it, you can. This song's going to work for him. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna hear this song all summer. You're gonna hear it all summer. But in closing, for me, if I have to rate it, I would give this a 7. I'm personally am a fan of Party Next Door's vibe, so the songs that I enjoy, I really love because it gives me that vibe. I'm talking Spider-Man, Superman, Small Town Fame, Raining in Houston, which is probably my favorite song. Lasers, songs like that is giving me that Party Next Door vibe. The issue is it is very inconsistent because Party Next Door almost sounds like a feature on his own album. And when they do deviate into different sounding songs, they are horrible. But I think if they would have kept the vibe consistent and maybe cut this down to 14, this album would have been sensational. But yeah, I will give some sexy songs from you by Party Next Door and Drake a 7.
alrighty. Is
Um
there any other new music you need to tell me about?
I did not finish the Young Blue album. I still got to go through that.
Good.
Um,
I'll listen to that this weekend, and then we can discuss that one next time.
yes. I did listen to the new Jacquees and Dej Loaf album, Fuck a
Oh
Friend
yeah,
Zone 2.
I forgot about that.
Uh, we will talk about that later.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I have. Do you have anything else for new music?
It looks like Roddy Ricch's album got pushed back. It was supposed to come out this Friday tomorrow.
Uh huh.
Um, so it's looking like that got pushed back. We have a new single from Quavo tonight.
Okay.
Let me see. Do I got anything else wrote down here? Oh, also, the Drake and Party Next Door album did sell 250,000 first week, which is amazing for them and the circumstance. A lot of people was worried this was going to be low sales. It did pull 250. A lot of people didn't think that they would crack 110. So that is definitely a win for Drake. Also in the Leon Thomas Tiny Desk came out today. I still have to go back and watch that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'll have to watch that too.
That's all I have though.
Okay, so I do have a one gotta go for you this week.
Let's do it.
Okay, so for you who do not know, I give Klev a series of things to choose from, and one of them's gotta go. He does not know what this is beforehand, so you will watch him work through this in real time. Today's category is games.
Uh oh. I'm a gamer. I'm a
Okay,
lifelong gamer.
so first one is Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, or Super Smash Bros.
I
This,
don't know. I think you gave me my first tough one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I thought the fries were gonna be tough, but you were quick on the fries. I was like, man.
Oh no, I don't play when it comes to food. Um. Okay. Let me try to work through this
Okay.
because I know for sure first that's safe is Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
For sure.
Hmm.
Um, I grew up a Sega kid, so I grew up on the Sega Genesis, which we all know, if you know, you know, was the superior version of Mortal Kombat. Because if you had it on Nintendo, there weren't any blood effects in the Nintendo version of that game. I'm such a nerd. I have a million of these facts. Just work with me here. Mortal Kombat is safe. Ah, it gets dicey after that, right?
Hmm.
Because
Man, I
I'm
stuck the
going to.
guy.
Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it.
Okay.
Based off just pure nostalgia,
Hmm.
Street Fighter is safe next.
Okay.
I'm not as big of a fan as the games as a gamer today,
Right.
but like, come on, man.
Street.
And Akuma is my favorite fighting game character. So off of that alone, Street Fighter is safe.
Hmm.
So this comes down to Tekken and Super Smash Brothers.
Hmm.
Um, strictly off of the fact that this is the game I played the least. Super Smash Brothers goes in this.
Okay.
I was much more into Tekken in the PS2 days. I
Yeah.
spent hours playing Tekken 4. I
Right.
spent hours playing Tekken 3 on the original PS. Like just off sheer volume of of playing the games, Tekken is safe from here, and sadly, because that is a game night game for your ass,
Yeah.
man. But
Super Smash.
sadly, Super Smash Brothers goes here.
Okay. So originally for me, when I saw this one, I immediately took Tekken off the table because that was literally the only fighting game that we literally played. So like it literally, I was like, I have played Tekken from beginning to end. So we off the table immediately for me. Mortal Kombat was next for me. And so it was between Street Fighter and Super Smash Bros. And I think that I did the same thing that you did, a sheer amount of play, and I played so much Super Smash Bros. When we got a Wii that I was I was sad, but I had to take Street Fighter out.
And yeah, and like you have to when it comes to video games, it's based upon, you know what I'm saying, your like personal experiences. Because I wasn't a big Nintendo kid growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Sega, so I'm going to pick Sonic over Mario every single time.
Right,
Mario's the most popular video game on Earth,
right.
but I don't know. I think it's cool when we do like video games and shit like that because everyone's answer is not going to be the same. But it's one of those to where regardless of what your answer is, you can look at it and be like, I could understand that.
That is super fair, yeah. And when I saw this one, I was like, this is actually a really good one. And I think depending on the person, it would change the answer. And like you said, this it's true. Depending on what kind of console you grew up with, what kind of because my husband is a huge Nintendo fan, and we always say that like our first children were the Nintendos because he literally has every version of a Nintendo that you could ever have. We have one. Okay, so we've got a NES, we've got a GameCube, we've got we've got a gold the gold 64. It like any version of it you could think of, we got. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like he's like, no, these are his little prides and joys. But yeah, tell
That
us
was fire.
yeah,
That
tell
was
us
a
what your one gotta go for that one is. I would love to hear everybody's answers because I think it will greatly change depending on the person.
absolutely.
So I got everybody hooked on a show.
You did it again, Ty.
I
You
got
did it
everybody
again.
on a show, guys. I got everybody hooked on a show. Okay, so Love is Blind came back on Valentine's Day on Netflix. And I
Yes.
think that I talked about Love is Blind last season that it was on.
Yes.
Um, and uh, Klev watched this season. Mind you, they come out in installments, so they'll give you like six or so episodes, and then they'll come out with like everything like the honeymoon. So it's like in the pods, the honeymoons, and they'll release like the weddings and then the reunion special. Okay, so that's normally how they release them. So it's not like we don't have the full season yet, so we won't know exactly how this will turn out just yet until they release the rest of them. But we can
Yes.
talk about if you haven't seen Love Is Blind, this is how the show works. So they have um multiple. So they start in a city. This season is in Minneapolis. Is where this season is set.
That
Um,
was a question I had because I did not know what city this was.
yes, this is Minneapolis. They've had other places like Atlanta and Boston or like other places, like what, So, um, this season is set in Minneapolis. They get a group of men and a group of women. they talk to each other and go on kind of dates inside of these pods. Now, the trick of Love is Blind is that they cannot see the person that they are on the date with. So it's just a foggy glass wall in front of them. That's like colors and all this other stuff. And they have to talk to each other through this wall. And then they go back or whatever. And they do this until they are an engaged couple. Like the guy asks, "Will you marry me?" And then they will see each other in this tunnel where they will see each other for the first time, and then after that they leave, and then they go on their honeymoon, and that we'll talk about that later because this episode was just the pods and who got engaged. And when I tell you the season is already messy, it's already messy.
Now, before we get into it,
Mm-hmm.
question. Because
Mm-hmm.
the first note that I wrote down and question that I had, because it's bothered me. So, is it normal on this show for them to have people that are in this house that are not featured on the show at all?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm like, who the fuck is Mo and who the fuck is Vanessa? Who are
Right.
these?
So
Because
actually, it's actually not it's actually common that there are couples that actually get engaged on the show and they don't make the cut for filming. So it depends on how many couples and who has the most interesting story and all this other stuff, because there are people who have gotten engaged and gotten married and they were on this show but they never got screen time. So it is possible. It is possible.
Cause
Um
I'm like, who this bald head nigga that keep giving the dudes hugs and all and
right.
everything and all the who the fuck who is this emotional support nigga?
So yes, yes, there are people who don't get screen time because they just don't have interesting enough stories. And normally they kind of key in on people who are having really solid relationships and are going to get engaged. And some people's stories, like because I read an article about a couple. They were like, we met each other the very first day, we knew we were the one, we got engaged, we got married. I think they're still married to this day, but they didn't have any drama or anything else. Like it was just like we met and it was right and we did it, like, so there wasn't really much to show. They would have been a boring story, and of course it's TV, so they got to give you excitement. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. I just had that bothered the fuck out of me.
Yes, so that happens, it does happen. Okay, so that's the premise. There are some pretty main relationships that we're going to talk about. There's like a good 6 storylines. So the first one I want to talk about is basketball player Devin.
This is so okay. Obviously spoiler alert throughout this entire segment.
Yeah, so if you don't want to know what happens, do not listen to this. We love you.
Spoiler alert. Yes. This is the couple I am pulling for. Like I'm pulling for Devin and Virginia more than anyone else.
Okay.
It was I knew this show was gonna do it, but it kind of made it blatantly obvious. We knew when Devin was there, he had one of two options in that house. And lo and behold, it was both the niggas. But I let it slide. I would let it slide because I think it was cool. Which actually it makes it even because I forgot that this was based. Every show is based out in a city, so it makes it even less impressive to know that him and Vanessa went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Because when she said that, I was like, holy shit. But what do you think about Devin?
I like Devin. So for people who don't know and haven't seen it, Devin is 28. He is a basketball player and he works for a youth sports company, does basketball training. He uh he's kind of in a love triangle in the beginning before he settles on Virginia with Brittany. She always tells you gotta say the A. Brittany, okay? And Brittany's 34, and she used to be a college basketball coach. And then you have Virginia, who's like 33 years old, I believe. Yeah, she's 33. And she used to be an NBA dancer.
Now,
Now she's like a healthcare recruiter or something.
now, call me crazy, but does Virginia, is it just me, or does Virginia really really looks like Mariah the Scientist?
She kind of does. Now that you say that.
Yeah, that kind of tripped me out when I was watching
Yeah.
that.
Now that you say that. But so at first, Devin is really into Brittany. Brittany, okay? Because Virginia's kind of cold at first. So he's kind of talking to her and she's not really giving him the feedback that he's wanting. Um so they were saying that, like, you know, he was originally being like, yeah, like, you're not giving me exactly what I want, and he's looking for some deeper connection. He was getting that with Brittany at first, but then Virginia. Oh, I think really what happened is when Brittany had told Devin that she
Okay, no,
might be that she's bisexual.
pause. Let clear out for a second, because I want to discuss this.
Yes.
Because this is where she pretty much lost Devin.
Oh yeah.
And for proper context for what I'm about to say, okay, understand, in this moment, he just reveals to Brittany that he had a pill addiction at one point in time in his
Yes.
life.
Yes, because he had a basketball injury and it led him to abuse medications.
Yes. So she kind of gives the
Also,
vibe.
and this journey brought him closer to God. That is
Yeah.
another key point. Sorry.
Yes. Very important point. So she's taking it all in, being supportive and everything, but she kind of gives the vibe like, you,
You ain't
you
gonna
done
like
dropped that on me. I got something for you too. Speaking of which, quick tangent. You remember that game show Baggage?
it. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love. We got to talk about that someday.
We gotta talk about
So, so I'm thinking like, oh, this about to be some shit she about to say. And she more or less alludes to having certain connect. First of all, another tangent. You could make a drinking game out of Love Is Blind just by drinking every time the word connection is said.
Oh yeah. You would be dead. Alcohol syndrome.
That might be an experiment coming soon. But yeah, she pretty much allude that she had some encounters with females in the past.
Yes.
And she was talking about like, yeah, this happened. I don't ever see myself being in a relationship with a woman. I actually don't even see myself involve myself physically with a woman. Cause once I have my man, I have my man. And as a man, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but to think, why the fuck are you even telling me? I don't care. I don't care. If you're telling me, yeah, this kind of happened years ago, it was this kind of thing, I don't think you ever have to worry about. I just cried to you and professed my deepest, darkest secret, and you made it seem like you was finna say like I'm actually still married. Yeah, I thought she was about to say something. She lost me at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, Virginia brings up that not Virginia, Brittany brings that up. So, and I think that he really struggled after that and whatever. So he tells Virginia the story also, and he was like, this brings me really closer to God, and you know, like I am putting my trust in him. And they both, Virginia is like, yes, I also want a partner who has faith and prays and things like that. And so Brittany actually breaks it off with Devin, which is the surprising thing.
Yeah,
So I'm glad
did well, did what? Yeah, did she?
she did. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
So she breaks it off with Devin, okay? And which is kind of good because Devin was going to have to tell her like I don't feel comfortable, which it kind of saved that, because not necessarily save face because you know like political correctness or whatever, but like he didn't have to say that I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you're interested in women, and I don't like that. And it's funny because the very first season of this there was a guy and a girl that had a connection. I do not remember their names now because there's literally like 8 seasons now, so whatever. But
right.
there was a black man and a black girl that had a connection. They were sitting out by the pool on their honeymoon. The guy comes and says, so I'm bisexual. The girl loses her ever loving mind. When I say
Because excuse me?
yes, loses her mind. Loses her mind. And I mean, I'm talking chairs flying. He's calling her out her name. Like, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Okay?
Because you not about to wait until the honeymoon to tell me every now and then you might want to suck a little dick. You not about to drop that on me at our
Yeah,
honeymoon.
she loses her mind. And so when this happens, I said, well, I'm glad she told him now, because we've watched this end badly. So anybody who's watched season one knows what I'm talking about. But I was like, this ended so bad the last time this happened to somebody. So I'm so glad that this happened how it happened. But yeah, so Brittany breaks it off, and then after that, Devin gets engaged to Virginia, and which we're pretty, she seems really happy when they. And so finally, once they get engaged, they see each other for the first time. They look so cute together and they look really happy together. So I'm rooting for this couple in the end.
But Virginia seemed like super shy.
Oh yeah, but also this is the first time you're actually seeing somebody from behind a wall. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's like a first date all over again. Like it's so like you don't really know like what their mannerisms are like or what you're doing. Do I look weird? Do they like me? Do they like what they see? There's probably a lot going on in your head during that time. In
Yeah.
all fairness. Okay. So that couple, we're rooting for them.
Yes.
Another couple that got engaged, they didn't really have that crazy of a story, so I'm only going to give them a blip, which is Joey and Monica. Joey's the one with the long hair.
Oh no. He 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 had a cup of coffee and a bagel and said, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah. And talking about like here's a rock, because penguins give each other rocks. Anyway, they have Joey and Monica have a pretty I don't know how to describe it. They have a pretty quick relationship. They don't seem interested in other people. There's no love triangle here. They seem pretty, for each other. To give you some rundown, Joey is a physician associate, and then we've got Monica, um, and so I don't know how old Monica is, but I don't know. They're cute. They saw each other and they were happy, whatever. Um, to get to, and, we'll see them again for the honeymoons. I'm sure they'll get married. They seem cute together. Um, no real story there. Uh,
Mm-mm.
But to get to another couple that kind of does have some stuff going on with it is probably Ben and Sarah. Um,
Oh,
so Ben,
now
so Sarah goes, okay, um, she's really into social issues. She said when the George Floyd thing happened, which obviously this takes place in Minneapolis, so remember that. So she was like, when the George Floyd thing happened, whatever. So she starts talking to Ben about how he feels about this kind of stuff. And mind you, these are two white people. Okay, so I just need you to be aware of this. He is like, well, I don't really know. I don't really know about that kind of stuff because I don't really.
pause right there. Tag me in
Go ahead.
because spoiler alert. This is the couple that I'm saying there is no way in hell this is gonna work
Yeah, it's not.
because you gotta think even even the most racist of racists, I'm talking hard capital ER, knows who George Floyd was.
Right.
There's no it's I refuse to believe he don't even know who George Floyd is and it happened in your city. I re- I
Literally,
refuse to continue.
they were talking about and also Ben has says that he is a person of faith. Okay. So this is another thing that concerns me because when she was talking to him about like LGBTQ plus people or gay people, he would refer to them as like, oh yeah, I have friends that are that way or I support that community. Like it's not like he would kind
It's so
of dance.
cringy. You
Yeah,
not
he
down?
would like
You
dance
not
around
down?
it. And he was like, I don't feel like you should he was like, I'm not expecting you to teach me, but I'm willing to learn and blah blah blah. I don't think this couple's gonna make it. He did propose to her because she had a hard sit down where she was like, I don't think that I'm going to marry this guy because I don't know if we line up socially. And he kind of came back with like a last minute buzzer beater and was just like, he was like, listen, I'll do whatever you need. Like, it's cool. And
Hey, he
I'll
Steph
learn.
Curry that bitch from full court.
He just overhooked it and hope he made it. And he proposed to her. She emphasized how important her social issues were and blah blah blah. He said he was like, I could be we'll be on the same side. What does
Bro,
that mean?
you are lying. You are a liar, sir.
We'll see. We'll see how this works. Okay. So anyway, it's a mess. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this couple. I don't think they're gonna make it. Okay.
I don't yeah, no. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay. So next love triangle we have is Dave, Lauren, and Molly.
Oh,
Okay.
we getting into the shit.
Okay. So we haven't even got to the worst triangle yet, but this
Oh, I
is a bad one.
no, listen. Just know tag me in when necessary. Just know I have much to say about both of these triangles.
Okay, so Dave is it he works in medical aesthetics, which he's like, everybody that I work around is very beautiful. They all have plastic surgery. The girls that I have dated have all been very beautiful, all been very, like it's been like he's like, I've dated a specific type of woman. And he was like, I don't I don't really, And also the first line this man said to one of the girls was, "So what's wrong with you?" I
Dog,
said, "What?" So
he
anyway,
bro, whack.
first line, you sit down, you don't know who this person is. Hey, so what's up with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you here? Huh? Why are you here?
I'm
What's wrong
walking the fuck
with
out.
you? Okay, anyway. But anyway, so he um So Lauren comes in. She sells school curriculum, but she used to be a teacher at some point. He made a little joke at Lauren when they first started talking because she's 30 years old. He asked her, "Oh, so you're no longer attractive?" Is what he said.
Yo, my wife looked at me when he
I,
said that. Like if I dare you to say,
and
oh, bro, what,
and
continue.
and it's funny because Lauren actually has a lot of personality. She has a FTP tattoo, and it means F the patriarchy on like, and she was talking about sending nudes to this man. I don't even know. I don't
Listen, well, let me say that we'll get into it once you start talking about Molly, but like Lauren by far is my least favorite person on this show.
you know, maybe
The level of hate. Oh, she was hating.
oh yeah,
Oh
she was
my.
mad. She's like, Dave is my man. Like she was like heavy. My man, my man, my man.
But
Okay.
continue. We'll get into it.
Okay. So then he meets she's like a bank assistant. I think she dances too. I don't know. Her name's Molly. Um and I don't know. Molly doesn't know that Dave is dating Lauren in the beginning because obviously, even though they go back to the pods where it's just the girls and then just the boys, initially they aren't talking to each other about who they have connections with. They're keeping things a secret, right? So they not everybody knows who's dating who. I should probably preface that. So it's not like if you get out of a date in the beginning you're not going to be like, I had a date with Dave and I think he's great because you don't want other people like bumping up against your love interest, right? So,
Right.
in all fairness, um, but it's I don't know. So
Dog, keep going. Keep going. Keep
okay,
going.
so Lauren Lauren hears Molly suggest that Dave was her number one at some point. Okay, and so I don't know where she heard this information, but she says that she heard this information. Okay. And then she goes and tells Dave and was like, I heard this, like, confronts him about it. And we're like, what is this? And then he tells Lauren that she's like the only person for him. Like she's doing this whole thing. He's like, I'm gonna propose to you, whatever. But he was asking Molly about what she liked in rings, which was odd. Like, what were you doing, sir? And I don't think that people realize that what you do in the pods is gonna come back when you go to the reunion.
That's your ass, Mr. Postman. So, listen. From my perspective, like watching them is like Molly was the one for him. To me, it's like you literally found the female equivalent of yourself. And it was blatantly obvious for me. I'm like, yo, it's Molly. It's Molly. And if you was able to see how much Lauren was hating on Molly once she knew that she was the other nigga,
Bad.
nigga, and then yo goofy ass, it made when I tell you it made no sense when he pretty much ultimately chose Lauren, I was like, nigga, excuse me?
So Dave tells Molly, he said, Lauren's the one. I'm gonna pick Lauren, right? And so so Molly goes to Lauren to clear the air and goes, I don't know what just like not necessarily she didn't know what happened, but she was like, he told me that like you're his pick, but this is all the things or whatever. Lauren literally doesn't believe a thing that Molly says. Literally shuts her down and goes, I believe my man. I believe my man, even though he was literally dating the both of y'all 2 seconds ago. And then,
Goofy, man.
so on Valentine's Day, because they do celebrate Valentine's Day in this thing, so they have on Valentine's Day, he proposed to Lauren, saying that he was like, "You're so he's like, I don't know, like it's not like my mother, but you're so motherly and so nurturing."
That
Okay,
shit was that shit was disgusting, bro. No, she's not.
but the thing is that now I want to know if he finds Lauren attractive, truly.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, you gonna love this one. Should we save this one for last? Because we're gonna have to talk a lot. Okay, I'm gonna save that one for last. So then we have another couple that doesn't have a lot to talk about. It's Taylor and Daniel. Um, Daniel is like 5'8", and he's like, I'm short or
Oh,
whatever.
the dweeb.
With the Christmas card,
Yeah,
and
the dweeb.
he's got the Christmas
Well,
card.
actually, we, I see what you did here, because by the end of these episodes, we do have a lot to talk about them, but
Right,
it
right,
wasn't until the end.
right. So
I see what you did there, because yeah, I have yeah. Go
I
ahead,
gotta,
go ahead.
I had to skip the big one because, like, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah,
so we have a nurse. She's a nurse. Her name is Taylor. Um, Daniel and Taylor are super cute. They're like, yeah, like, you know, we're gonna have a Christmas card together, and we're gonna do all this other stuff. Like, super super cute, super super cute. Okay, again, not a lot going on, but this leads us to the worst the first four people on these episodes. Okay, instigator number one, Mason. Instigator number two, Meg. Instigator number three, Madison. Instigator number four, Alex. Oh my gosh, y'all.
bruh.
Pull
Also,
up a chair.
okay. So two things, two real quick things. One, what like my me and my wife both kind of pointed out was like the contrast in the environments from like the men's lounge and the women's lounge,
Yeah.
where you see like the guy walks back in from a good date, they're all yes. Then it's like four separate groups of women sitting together talking in each other's breath.
Yeah, like,
It's just like, come on. Why can't we just be happy for one another?
no, no, we're not happy.
And then the other thing, which is important for this part, me nor my wife was aware that like certain motherfuckers just go home
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just go home because they
and
don't find.
just quit the show.
Yeah, yeah, because they don't
We
find
was
anybody
not
and they're not
aware of that.
gonna just go home.
Yeah, so yeah, holy shit, let's break this down.
So this is a mess. Okay, so we're gonna start, and mind you, there are four people, and there's four people in this love weirdness. Okay, all right, but okay, so let's start with Madison. Madison is a painter. She she's got this really complex back history about her mom who had a substance abuse issue, and she had to parent herself as a kid. And then Alex, who was a boy, by the way, he was like, "Yeah, I have ADHD. I had bad acne. I used to get bullied a lot. Things like that." And immediately Madison and Alex have a good relationship, right? They're building this really good relationship with one another. They both can relate to not being cool, and like it was just like painter dweeb together. Okay,
Right.
so Madison. our painter here, starts dating. She starts also seeing Mason. Okay. And when
Mm-hmm.
I tell you Mason was public enemy number one for me this season, I absolutely, oh, like anytime I saw him come up on my screen, I was immediately irked.
Oh,
Immediately.
okay. Hold on. Stop. I gotta stop you right there because I gotta shoot my man some bail here because he
Mason.
was also public enemy number one for my wife. I gotta shoot my man some bail.
Mm.
We'll talk about it later as we go on during this segment.
Irked.
He only did one thing wrong, and that's what he told Madison at the end.
Yes, but no, I
Other
feel like the
than
whole.
that, to be fair, he did what you are supposed to do on this show. This show this show should change its name from Love is Blind to One and a Possible.
Well,
Because if you were smart in this show, you had like your main one and like a possible that can, and a lot of people had a one and a possible.
right, right,
He
right.
did nothing wrong except at the very end.
No, I just think his whole personality to me was irky, and it wasn't necessarily what he did, because I understand, like, if you've ever watched The Bachelor or anything like that, that like it always comes down to two people and they trying to figure out their feelings and who they have the more feelings for, you know. But like Mason's like a cinematographer, you know, like he's, I just feel like anytime he talked to the girls, it was about sex, and I felt like that was weird to me. Y'all, you don't know these girls. Like, quit talking to them about that. Anyway, so, but whatever. So he starts talking to Madison, and he's like, yeah, like whatever, it's cool, blah blah blah. Okay, and then enters the picture Meg. Meg is also dating Mason. Okay. So the only person who is sharing a partner here is Madison, because she is talking to she's talking to Mason and Alex. Meg is only talking to Mason. So
Which, yeah.
right. So Meg comes into the picture. Um she Meg, the best way I can describe her is like, people who like you can't really tell if they just high or high on life. She's like one of those people. And and I was like, okay. But she was like, yeah, I got spirits and energies, and yeah, she's just like a little hippie. We like that for her, okay? Um,
Meg is like that oddball from like Sex in the City.
yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. But so when it comes down to it, Alex seems like he's fitting more of Madison's like type. Madison shares that she is a very avoidant person, and that has caused a lot of issues in her relationships. And Alex said, I don't know how to help you with that, and I don't know if I can help you with that, because it would make me feel upset if you were like pulling away from me, you know, and knowing that there'd be nothing I can do. And she said, well, you have to just trust me that I know what I'm doing. Well,
Bro,
if you're all of your relationships have ended because of that situation, I'm concerned now if that will be what happens to us, and that was a fair thing for Alex to say. Like, I'm just concerned about that. And so Alex says this to Madison. Madison's like, oh, here's my stuffed bear for the night, or alien.
oh, the
Bear,
Berlin,
yeah,
and
barely.
that's a bro. That goes back to my previous point because he goes back to the men's lounge with this bear.
Yes. And when
I know
Mason
you about to stick with that tonight. Like, the camaraderie. Here comes Mo. Here comes the emotional support nigga giving him a hug.
right. And did you see Mason's face when he
had that Lauren face.
He had the side eye. He's side eyed. Okay. So then, right. So then, everything is okay for a while between those two. But he's like, I don't want to bring past relationships, and Alex is kind of afraid to jump with Madison because she was like, I can't eat and I'm stressed and like
And bro, and as you know what I'm saying, open
my
book
body's
at
going autopilot and I don't eat and stuff. Like in like things where I'm like, I would be concerned too.
yeah, cause admittedly, when I get super stressed and like in like depressive states, it definitely fucks with my appetite, and it's not fun for your partner on the other side to deal with that. So when she said that, I'm like, I don't know. I'll say this. For me, it was painstakingly obvious for me that Madison had no business being on this show.
Oh
Go
yes.
work go work on yourself.
Yes. Do the therapy you gotta do.
Oh,
Like,
me,
I don't
me,
know.
you had no business. You're not ready.
She
You're
was
not
ready.
ready.
And so Alex, in all fairness, said, I'm I'm not ready to jump into marriage. Okay, mind you, this isn't a dating, like we're gonna go date to
Now,
marriage with you when you have all of this past trauma that is
now let's rewind a little bit because this
okay.
is Madison gets like my dunce cap for this show, and I'm gonna tell you why. Cause let's rewind. So Alex and Madison gets to a point to where he doesn't propose, but he asks her to be his girlfriend.
Yes.
So they're mutually exclusive, but not engaged. So they still can't see each other yet.
Right.
So now it was on Madison at this point to break the news to Mason,
Right.
pretty much saying like I chose for myself, pretty much. And it's so funny because like she just knew that okay, she broke it off with Mason. I have my guy. I'm about to ride off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes back. And then that's what Alex is just like, yeah, that ain't gonna work for me, dog. He Randy Jackson the fuck out of her.
Yeah. And this is all and this happens with Alex after um he's
After
talking.
Mason tried to turn to
Yes.
his
Because
possible, he
Mason
lost his
Mason said that Madison was his number one, not Meg. Okay. And Madison had somebody else. Obviously, she was now boyfriend, girlfriend with Alex. Okay. So, anyway, so this Meg is making really consistent like effort. Yeah, like, she's doing what she can to make Mason feel committed to her. Um, but then Mason goes back and he was like he tells Madison, "Oh, like you're my number one," and like blah 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 blah. Okay, and she breaks up with him. Madison does, if I haven't. Okay, and also this is sad because he had brought her this big giant breakfast, like a whole tray of breakfast, and they're supposed to eat this breakfast together, and she's like, "Yeah, no, like we can't be together."
ain't enough bacon in the world, my boy.
And he picks up his tray and says, "Well, I guess I'm not gonna eat breakfast," and walks out the room.
And look, he spun. He was like, "Yo, I still got my possible in the tuck. I'm good." But also at this point, Madison and Meg both know about each other.
Yes. And then really what happens is with Alex and Madison is that she goes and tells Madison goes and tells Alex what happened with Mason. And she says, I broke it off with Mason. He had told me that I was his number one and blah, 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 blah. Like, she goes on this whole like tyrant, and Alex is like, okay, well, like, I understand both of you guys' perspective here. And she was like, well, I don't understand why he would tell me that and blah, blah, blah. And
Nigga,
he's like,
it's
we're all
one and
dating each other and it's complicated. I understand his point of view and I understand yours. And she was like, well, I don't feel validated in that. And like fell apart, literally fell apart. And Alex was like, um, I don't know what to do, because if I
yeah, that
have a logical conversation with you and everything has to be that you're right and he's wrong, then this is not going to work, because I understand both points of view. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that, like, it's more complex than your feelings are hurt. And I don't even know why your feelings are hurt if I'm your boyfriend.
bruh, like, bruh. And then this was also after Mason spun the block on Meg,
Yes.
and he pretty much said, "You was always my number one to begin with, and that never changed." And to be fair, on Meg's part, it's just like it's hard for me to believe you because Madison made the decision for you, so I'll never know if you was going to pick me anyway,
Right. I feel like sloppy seconds, you
which is
know?
fair.
So Meg breaks up with Mason. And also he brings her this breakfast too.
Man,
And
hey, you listen, if you walk in that room and they got eggs Benedict on that dough, it's over, my boy.
so so yeah. So Alex is like, we this is not good communication, and he's like, I'm really sad about this, but I don't think that this is going to be a good situation for you or for me. And so Alex breaks up with Madison. Madison goes home with nobody. Alex goes home with nobody. Mason goes home with nobody. Meg goes home with nobody. No engagement for any of them.
That's that it was wild.
I was like, yo, what is this? Yeah, no, it was crazy. Um da- People who I think are gonna make it. I think that Joey and Monica will make it. I think Taylor and Daniel will make it. I think that Devin and Virginia will make it. Ben and Sarah ain't making it. Dave and Lauren ain't making it. That's just what I'm saying.
Agreed 1000%. But Imma throw another prediction out there. I I think Molly about to come back with a vengeance during this season and throw some ass.
Well, we won't see her again until reunion, because she doesn't come to the honeymoons.
So they don't. So it's so during the previews of what's going on the rest of the season, we see Brittany comes back.
Maybe they might have a party. I mean, there was one time where I think they had a party where other people were there, like a luau or something, to meet everybody.
Yeah, because like
Um,
Madison was there and then she was like getting all nervous and shit because she heard Alex's voice.
so I'm assuming maybe there is like they're gonna have like a luau before everybody meets,
Okay.
um, where everybody meets each other, um, and because it has happened where we had a season where a guy picked a girl, and then halfway through the season he goes back and says, I chose the wrong person. I chose the wrong person. I need to go back and get this girl. They flew her out to a boat dock. He proposed to her. They got married and have a baby now.
Jesus. But before we
So
get off Love is Blind, we have to talk about the shock twist at the end of the last episode.
Shock twist. I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
The the Christmas nigga with the
Oh,
Instagram page. Yeah.
Daniel.
Yes.
That she thinks that he knew what she looked like.
Yes.
Which, it would be different if it were Dave. Like, I think it would be different if it were Dave, because Dave is he's the one who does the medical aesthetics. If it were him and he picked his wife like that, then that really goes against the thing. But you all live in Minneapolis. How is he supposed to know that you guys were friends on Instagram?
And look, once again, we watched this not realizing that they was from the same like city. So it
Yeah,
was
they're
a
all
much bigger shock when we watched it. But now knowing that they live in the same city, it's like, yeah.
yeah. It would be different if it were Dave that this happened to, but for Daniel, no, I don't really care. I don't think he knew. I don't think it was purposeful. If he did know what she looked like prior, because they just happen to be friends on Instagram, because if you have a public page, anybody can follow you and you can follow anybody, right? So I think for Daniel it was more harmless than what they're making it. It, like I said, if this were Dave, this would be a whole different story.
Right. But yeah, as you can see, we locked in on Love is Blind. I cannot wait till tomorrow to watch these new episodes. I'm about to fly through this.
Yeah, because
Um,
we're gonna watch the honeymoons next. We won't see the weddings, because that will be the next time that they release episodes. But we will watch the honeymoon, and we'll give you guys a report back.
yes. Mass Singer.
I didn't get a chance to watch Mass Singer. I'm gonna watch it probably either today or tomorrow. Um,
Okay.
like I said, I
Um,
no TV. I listen to no music. I
I will
I
say
watched Love is Blind while I was cleaning.
I will say this. I don't think this is gonna be a good season for me.
Oh no! Please.
um, let's see. So no no update on Raising Canaan.
No, I'm still in the same place, and I know the season's getting ready to start really
Yeah,
soon. So
you
this
got
weekend,
2 weeks.
I'm gonna book it this weekend. So next, you guys are gonna hear a lot of my talking next week. I tell you.
You got 2 weeks. Let me see what well, I which means you did not watch. Please watch the newest episode of Paradise. There's a huge
Yes,
twist.
I can't, now that my husband is watching it with me. I can't watch it without him. So
Understood.
I'm on his schedule now, because if I watch it without him, he's gonna be mad.
It's getting to the shits. It's getting,
He's
let me see.
he watches it with me.
Um, yo, I got a show to put you on, man. I've been on fire in 2025 on the TV shows. I've been on
Okay,
fire. Just really quick. Brand new show. This is on Peacock. This show is called The Hunting Party.
interesting.
I will just give you the synopsis of the show and you do it as you may. Um it revolves around this woman who is, it looks like she's trying to get back in the favors of the FBI. I guess she like maybe used to work for the FBI at one point in time, but you know, she's law enforcement, and there was this prison. It was like this underground prison. Um it and it For lack of better terms, it blew up. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's this underground prison with all these serial killers in it, and it blows up. Well, they find out it didn't blow up. It blew up, but it allowed the prisoners to escape this prison. So the synopsis of the show is, you know, they have to re-round up all these. escaped serial killers, and every episode is a different serial killer. This is the twist. They add so they bring the FBI brings her in and ask her about a serial killer, of a case that she worked on years ago, and she was telling her like, yeah, I pretty much know, you know what I'm saying, this story and was going on with her. Like, I remember this case, and she was just like, yo, what? Why are you bringing me in, asking me questions about a dead guy? This guy's dead. So, and they say, well, we asked you to because he just been spotted in the city like a little bit ago. So this underground prison was like a secret, and they put all these serial killers down that they claimed are dead or were killed. And so now it's just like, um it's something fishy going on in this prison that they're doing with these prisoners. So that's kind of the twist on that is like, yeah, you have to round up and like rearrest all these escaped serial killers, but what was going on in this underground prison that nobody knew about, filled with serial killers that the public think are dead already?
Right.
Hunting Party, Peacock. It's a good show, man. I think it's another banger.
Alrighty. Sounds interesting. All right. I have an unpopular opinion.
Let's do it.
Um, Whoever made aluminum-free deodorant is a scam artist, and there is no reason why there's funky people in the winter.
I need to hear you out on this one.
Okay, so I like to be an understanding person. Okay, guys, I really do. I believe that understanding brings us closer as a group of people. Okay, um, but I don't know what happened when people are like, we need to have all of these natural remedies for deodorant because they don't work. And I know that like people are like it takes some time, like blah blah blah, and I understand that, but it is negative degrees outside, and some of y'all are musty. How is that happening? It's not even hot out here, and you expect us to work in 100-degree heat? I got questions, and now I have questions if they're just making this stuff to make people believe that is healthier, but really you're just funky. You're just not putting on deodorant. That's really what it is.
This is a tough one, and I'm gonna explain why. Um, I definitely agree with you on like the sentiment on the sentiment of like you earthy hoes be stankin'. Like that is a fact. It's like you crystals and not like, nah, get it
And I
right.
totally understand there are some like the people who use the Lumi or whatever, and that stuff works. Like that's I feel like that stuff really works for people. But there are some of those like Dove aluminum free, like whatever, and I'm like looking at this and I'm like, ain't no way this is stopping anything from coming from up underneath them armpits. Okay.
But on the flip side, um my wife actually uses aluminum free deodorant, and well, then the benefit for her to use it is uh she suffers with like cysts on her underarms every now and then, and
Right.
the aluminum in certain deodorants aggravates that.
Right.
So using the aluminum free ones is more gentle for like her skin.
Right.
Um, but I can't. I'm not gonna condemn you for a lack of not knowing. Your reasoning for from for where you're coming from, I can understand, and this is why you will go back to class, because I think the sentiments that you are saying is definitely true.
Right. And I'm not saying like if you have a medical condition, like obviously, like do what you got to do. Cuz like I said, like I've heard people you say I use Lumi and like it literally has like saved like everything. And I'm like that's super great for you, whatever. But there's been so many times where I've met people where they're like, "Yeah, I switched to like aluminum free deodorant." And I'm like, "I can tell. I can tell."
But
And I
yeah, go back to class. The streak continues.
All right. All
Um,
right.
I have an unpopular opinion today.
Go for it.
Um, I know I said last week that I have an unpopular opinion relating to yours this past week,
Mhm.
as far as the unique names of children.
Mhm.
I'm still gonna do that. Not this week. I'm gonna save that because like something this past week kind of motivated me for this unpopular opinion. So my unpopular opinion, as a as a father, okay, if you see me and my baby out in public, I don't care if you are a complete stranger, and 9 times out of 10, you are a complete stranger. If my baby says hi to you, you better say hi to my baby.
Right. If the baby hands you a phone, you better answer it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm talking hello.
it's one that's I don't even need to hear anything else. You can go back to class because I felt the same way. If my baby is smiling and happy and in the cart and goes hi, you better say hi. I
Cause
don't care
look,
if you had a bad day. You better say hi to this baby. Or if you are sitting around a bunch of little kids, or even one little kid, if itty bitty, if I was at your house right now and itty bitty brought an imaginary phone to me, I would answer the phone. Hello, who is it? Oh, immediately, no thought, no thought. You know,
because
you bring
she's
fake food, I'ma eat it. Oh, this is so good, thank you.
yep.
Like, play
You
along.
better lock the fuck in. You
This better
better
be an
lock the fuck in when it comes to my
winning
baby.
performance, okay? Oscar winning performance. If it's the doctor's office, you better be sick. You better lay on the ground. You better let them inspect you. If they give you a band-aid, you should tell them it makes it feel better. And make them give you a kiss on the knee and then sprint around like you've been healed. Like you you better be putting on the performance of a lifetime if a baby requests that of you. Okay? Immediately. No hesitation.
Yeah.
If a baby smiles at me and waves its little baby hand at me at the store, oh my goodness, hi. Like I'm the happiest person to ever see you that you've ever seen. No.
Listen.
Yes.
Hey.
Immediately.
Hey. Immediately, dog.
Because no.
Hey
All
man, I
right.
will gladly go back to class.
Hall passes and detentions. My hall pass goes to mine truly, my husband, because on Valentine's Day we celebrated 14 years of being together.
Hey,
First date,
let's
long,
go.
long time, long time, and
OG's in the game.
he's he has literally had to shovel our driveway a good 5, 6 times in the last month, and I thank him for having to get out there, put the shovel all the driveway for just to snow again, and you got to go out there and shovel the driveway just for it to snow again. So we appreciate him. Hall pass to him for always making sure that my driveway is clean, and I never, ever, ever have to worry about getting out my driveway ever. Um, my
So
detention week
go for it.
goes to whatever rodent we chose to give us the weather that dang groundhog that said we're gonna have 6 more weeks of winter. It is negative degrees outside here. I don't know who told that thing to see or not see. I don't even know how it even worked. I don't know what in the whoever. Next year, don't pull that groundhog out the thing. I don't care if he's a part animal. I don't care anything about anything. I don't care that it's a holiday. We do it as a no. Don't no detention to the groundhog specifically.
Listen.
I'm tired.
Definite detention to the groundhogs.
It's cold.
Um Also, really quick before I give my hall pass and my detention. Um New music alert. Lethal the album May 6th. Rico Nasty.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Rico Nasty has a new song called Teeth Sucker that's out now. It's giving heavy metal vibes, so I don't know how I'm about to feel about this album.
You're
But
gonna be head banging.
but I am a Rico Nasty fan, so we will see. But for me, my hall pass goes to ASAP Rocky. It was just, and I'm surprised we have not talked about this on the podcast. But ASAP Rocky was in a court case fighting a charge that
They said that they shot him, and he was like, it was somebody shot that he had shot somebody, but it was like he said it was like a BB gun or something.
yeah, it was like they said it was like a prop gun, but they say he shot it, and it was like a friend of his.
Right.
Um they gave him a really good plea deal, which he turned down, which we was like, why would you turn this down? Because you're facing 23 years.
Well, if you know that you're innocent, you ain't gonna do any time.
Yeah,
So,
he obviously knew something that we didn't, and then when they put the friend on the stand, the lawyer cooked him on this, and they was like, "Oh well, yeah, his friend is an idiot." That's what he knew that we did. They did come out with a not guilty verdict on that case. Hey man, hard pass to ASAP Rocky.
right.
My detention. This this one hurts. This one hurts, cause I'm always there to give my fellow brethren bail, to shoot my fellow brethren some bail, but it's certain cases to where I can't defend it. My detention goes to Jacquees. Let's talk.
Not Jacquees.
Yes, yes, yes. So over this past week, Jacquees and Days Loaf released the sequel to 2017's hit album "Fuck a Friend Zone" with "Fuck a Friend Zone 2." Musically, this gives you what you would want from a Jacquees and Days Loaf album. Um, Definitely not better than original, but it still gives you some great vibes and like, if you're a Jacquees fan, you will enjoy this project. This is the problem, okay? So Jacquees and Dej Loaf publicly were in a relationship at the time they did "Fuck a Friend Zone." To the point to where I'm pretty sure Jacquees addressed that directly in not this last album he put out last year, but the album before that that had the black joint. He addressed their relationship on the intro of that album. So this is like a really public relationship. Last year, he got engaged and had his first child with, I forget the young lady's name, but she's Deion Sanders' daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
So they start doing the promo for this album. Then the album comes out, and now her and Dej Loaf are going. She's throwing shots at Dej Loaf. They're going back and forth in social media, And I'm just like, and this is something that I still need to learn too, because like my wife is always telling me to read the room. You don't know how to read the room, bro. What do you think was gonna happen when your fiance finds out you're doing another album with your ex girlfriend,
Well,
and then like the vibes of this album does not change from the first one. Spoiler alert. So
and and
as a
also,
fiance,
this isn't even your girlfriend. This is your fiance. This is the mother of your child,
yes,
and you're doing a "I love you, baby" song with your ex girlfriend.
are
Yikes.
you are you able to look something up right now?
Yeah, I can.
Go to your Spotify, look up that album, and look at the album cover for me and tell me what you see.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. The John Hughes. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Explain to the listeners, what are you seeing?
Not baby making out now. Okay. Okay. So album cover wise, they are sitting in a car. It looks like somebody is like taking a picture of them through the windshield. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacquees is in the driver's seat. He's blocking the camera with his hand. Like, oh, don't take this picture of me, you know? And then don't Loaf is in the passenger seat, which is that's super interesting. But she's like flipping off the camera.
So
Like,
it's definitely giving you the vibes that Jacquees, I can't be seen out with this woman.
right, like he's just like, please don't take this picture, and she's just like, fuck it, I don't care what anybody says. But it's just like,
Read the room, Jacquees. I love you, man. I love you, dog, but I gotta send you to the tension, dog. What did you think was going to happen doing this? This was a horrible idea from the start. The music is great. It's definitely some vibes and some bops, but at what cost?
yeah, I would be happy if my fiance were like, you couldn't have made any other. And it's crazy because the very first one, obviously it's a middle finger, but they're holding like a rose and it's like wrapped in like caution tape. So
Yes.
I don't know why they chose to do this photo shoot like this, because they could have done something like the first one.
And then, like in like promo videos, they're holding hands. They're being all like, "It's just
Yeah,
like, come on, bro." If this was just a random woman, like, yes, it's for the art. It's no me. This is your ex girlfriend, my guy.
that's yikes. Yeah.
What's on the deck, Ty?
So actually I don't have anything cool on the deck right now because I have been spending every waking minute with my children, and the only thing my kids like to listen to is Veggie Tales. So that's on the
Hey, they
week.
got some slaps.
That's on the deck this week is Veggie Tales. We like silly songs with Larry.
Oh
We got
yeah, they got some slaps. Shout out to VeggieTales, man.
Veggie Tales.
We are a Miss Rachel household here.
Oh, okay. My kids obviously are too old for the Miss Rachel, but no, my kids love VeggieTales. They watch so much VeggieTales. It is insane. The pirates that don't do anything is like their favorite song. Their favorite.
Salute, man. Yo, so this time, once again, I have two things for show and tell this week, but these are new slaps. I got some new. I got a song and I have a project for you this week, Ty.
All right.
So the let's do let's do the song first. Um, Shout out to Rema, man. I am getting. It's almost the summertime. I'm getting back in my Afro beats bag. Rema put out a new song a couple weeks ago. Let me pull this up because like there is it has a crazy sample, and you will probably be able to tell the sample by the name of this song. It's titled "Baby Is It a Crime." Just know the sample is amazing, and it's making me ready for the summer. Once again, that is "Baby Is It a Crime" by Rema. I highly, highly, highly suggest you check that out, Ty.
Right.
And then also this past week, I love when an artist comes down with Mary J. Blige syndrome. We have talked about this before.
Right.
If you know, you know. We know what this. You know what it is.
Red was experiencing this for a while.
This past week, we got a brand new EP from Coi Leray called entitled "What Happened to Forever." It's a 5-track EP, 11 minutes long. Yeah, just just know she's in her bag. She is in her bag. That's also dropped on Valentine's Day. Coi Leray, "What Happened to Forever." If you know, you know. She done caught the Mary J's.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got this week.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's it for this week.
It is.
Follow us on our socials, on our Facebook, on our YouTube. We've been getting better at getting things up and out, so that's been helping. Now that
As we're putting this episode out late as hell.
yeah, well, life happens, man.
Life be lifing.
But follow us, rate the show, please, 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 if you can, rate the show. It really helps us get to other audience members, and then we can quit bugging you about doing it. So,
Listen. Also, let us know who you had in today's amazing one gotta go that Ty gave us on video games, fighting video games at that. Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Super Smash Brothers. Which one is getting out of there? If you have any suggestions for one gotta goes, let us know in the comments as well. Anything else you have, Ty?
no, that's it.
Listen, with that said, it is business as usual. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone's continued love and support. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell they mama. And as always, once that bell rings, better not catch you out in the hall. I have been Klev.
I've been Ty.
And Lord and weather willing, we will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.